Gonna be ranking every single zombies map. Okay, now if you guys don't know, I'm a huge zombies fan. I played literally every single one of these maps. They're all well. We'll see which ones are good, which ones are bad. That's the whole point of this video. Last time I did a ranking video, it was a joke. So here we go. I'm gonna take this one seriously because I actually care for all of these maps. Well, I care, but some of them I hate. Okay, so first off, we're gonna be going off in order, however this thing ordered it. We're on tier maker list. I don't know what it's called, but DE. Okay, DE. This, in my opinion, is something. You know, DE is an interesting map. You see, it reminds me a lot of Origins, and that's the thing on why I'm gonna put it into God tier. You see, DE in itself has, of course, their own wonder weapon, the bows, which are really great. You have your storm bow, your fire bow, your void bow, and your wolf bow. Okay, then you also have the original bow, which is also pretty good up to a certain amount of rounds, which applies to every gun. But honestly, what makes DE such a great map, in my opinion, is the Easter egg itself. You see, if you think about it, it's not too complicated to where it's just like tedious to do. It's an Easter egg that is I consider the most replayable Easter egg, or one of them at least. And it's just everything flows so well. Like it makes it to where you actually have to go through the whole map. I like that when an Easter egg makes you do that, where you have to go literally everywhere around the map. I love that because then it sort of gives more purpose to the whole thing instead of just some Easter eggs. Let's say I can't think of any. Frick, I can't think of any. But you get my point, okay? But yeah, and then just overall the boss fight as well. The first actual boss fight that makes it so much better. All right, going on to Go Round Kurobi. I'm also gonna put this into God tier. Okay, it is a difficult map if you're new to zombies and if you're new to Easter eggs. Okay, so that is not something I recommend you to do. But once you get good, this is a map you go to get even better. Okay, it truly challenges you. It pushes you to your limits, and it says, okay, we're gonna push that even further. All right, the dragons flying around. It has such a great intro for the trailer when they first released it. Its intro with the Nikolai, Dempsey, Takio, and Richtofen falling through the sky, and of course they find, I forgot his name, Peterson. I don't think that's his name, but I don't know. But they find that guy on the parachute, and basically the dragon comes up. That was such a cool scene just to introduce the dragon, and then just throughout the whole map, it's just there's not a lot of training spots. There's some good ones, but it's still pretty difficult. And then the Easter egg steps, they're also difficult in itself. Most people will use Mega Gobblegums to make it easier. I mean, it is possible to do with classics and just none, but like it's still challenging no matter what. You have yourself the six main like steps, the little like trials, the bomb step, the Valkyrie drone, all that stuff. It's just all difficult. It just really puts an emphasis on like you have to be good at this, otherwise you're gonna fail. And then the boss fight itself, it not only has you're fighting Nikolai. I can't remember their names. You're not just fighting Nikolai. First off, you actually fight the dragon, which is amazing. It's not as cool as the Nikolai boss fight. The only issue with that boss fight, though, is how fast you can beat Nikolai, but really, that's not something that I try to focus on. It's just overall a pretty good map. Transit. This one, I'm going to put in C tier, okay? Transit, sort of, it was a map where people had their hopes way too high, okay? You see, they expected a lot out of it, and with reason. It's supposed to be the biggest map they ever made. It's supposed to be just this overall expensive map. But thing is that sort of ruined it is the idea that the consoles just couldn't handle it, and also the map didn't actually get finished. All right, let me drink my water, cause yeah, but that it's just sort of like because of those reasons on why it didn't get finished, and the consoles, the PS3 and the Xbox 360 not being able to actually run it well, it just sort of like put that stopper on it to where it could have been probably like a high B tier or low A tier map, but you know, I put it as an average map. It could be worse. Actually, I'm gonna move it down to D, just because like there's a lot of stuff inside of it that just is rather annoying. You know, having to get the pack a punch, and then like if you don't know like the claymore trick, then you have to keep on like turning on the what's it called, the turbine, and then that's just annoying. No one wants to keep doing that. I remember when I first played it, I had no clue how to get to pack a punch, and quite frankly, I don't like when I have to watch a video to get pack a punch. It's just stupid. But really, it could be a worse map, but I'm not gonna diss on it. Okay, Ancient Evil. I think this is a pretty good map. Okay, if I'll put it as like a B, just because you know it's not like near like anything that's amazing, but it's not a bad map. It's a pretty good map. You see, you have yourselves the four gauntlets, the hand of Gaia, yada yada yada, the hands of the gods. And you know that was a nice little aspect. It's part of the new zombie storyline, which you know, tell me about that. No one knows about it. Okay, no one really cares about it that much. But you know, it was a good map only for the fact that like the Pegasus, you know, it added in the new staff. That was pretty cool. Being able to go to the dark side of the map, you know, that was actually pretty cool as well. The idea of having the trials, that was a pretty good idea. I liked the rewards; they weren't really that bad. They weren't too overpowered as well, to where that's gonna be your main focus of the map. And then you know the Easter egg itself, it's like you know it's difficult depending on who you are. The boss fight though, that's sort of where it sort of brings it down. Just because when you think about it, the boss fight itself could have been really great if they used all the three islands, because you know you jump around from one island to the other island once one's being you know struck down with lightning from the Pegasus. But once you get further on into the Pegasus fight, it basically destroys one of the islands. It's usually the grass one. I think it's always that one, and you know it just sort of shrinks your movement around the whole area, and that sort of like ruins it, just because like what's the point of having it? It's not even an important island, which is the thing. So like it was just like, why have it there if you're not even going to really ever use it, you know? I don't know, it was just sort of useless. But the boss fight itself, you know, you fought Pegasus, you fought Perseus, you know, that was pretty cool. But you know, the idea of having to use the special weapons to attack them. I understand like you could go in the fire and regain your special weapon, but that was pretty pointless. I didn't like that. You should be able to damage them with any kind of weapon. Doesn't matter. But you know, it's whatever. Ascension. This is an average map. Okay, nothing too special. You know, it's pretty basic. It has an Easter egg, but it's not like anything too crazy. It you know it I sort of like the idea of the saturation thing. You know, it doesn't have as much saturation prior to turning on the power. Once you turn it on, you know, you get all that color back. And then, you know, it's just pretty basic. You know, the Easter egg, you just basically use the lunar landers, and you know, you collect letters. You hit buttons. You know, you just and then you shoot the ground, and that's about it. There's not really much to the Easter egg. It gave you a free perkaholic, which was pretty cool. But besides that, it's pretty basic. I'm not going to say anything bad about it because there really isn't anything bad about it. But it's not like it's. I can't say it's like one of the great maps. It was pretty good at the time of it coming out, but like one, if you were to compare it to any other map, it's pretty basic. It's not bad, but it's not too good. Blood of the Dead. Um, it's Blood of the Dead is an interesting map. Okay, it, it, I'm gonna put it in D tier, and here's my reasoning behind it. You see, it's a remake. It is a remake with a little bit extra added, but the little areas aren't really that important. It's way too difficult of a map. I mean, I'm gonna give myself this. I've beaten the Easter egg before. I feel proud of that, but it's just like it's just way too difficult to where it's not replayable. It's not good enough for like the casual Easter egg player. You have to like literally focus a lot of like your effort and all to that map just so you can complete it. And even then, like the boss fight itself isn't even that good. You're fighting Brutus or Mega Brutus, You're shooting orbs, and then that's it. Uh, the ending cutscene though might be one of the best things you ever get. Is it's just very emotional. It was very well made. The idea of it was really well put into it. But besides that, it's got nothing really too special. Um, yeah, there's just not a lot to it that like in comparison to the Mob of the Dead. But I'm not upset with it. It's just it's whatever. Barry, this is honestly my favorite Black Ops 2 map. Okay, my favorite Black Ops 2 map. The- I I don't know. I liked all the new things they added in. It didn't feel like it was too much. What they added in Leroy, haha, or Arthur, whatever his name is, whatever you want to call him. The big giant. I like that. I like that aspect of it. Give him candy, give him booze. He'll ram into stuff, or he'll like keep the mystery box there. I like that idea. And then what? He could also hold the crawler, which was pretty useful for Easter egg steps. And doing all that, finding out the Easter egg. And then what added in the ray gun Mark II, one of the best wonder weapons throughout zombies, hands down. Like it's one of the best. It might be the best ray gun version there is, maybe. But it also added in the paralyzer, which was a gun that had it had infinite ammo basically. And it basically allowed you to just fly around the map. That was pretty fun to do. Just fly over walls. There was a trick you could do with it to where you could just go into high rounds pretty easily if you had Vulture and all that. Oh, and that brings up it added in the new perk Vulture, which was a great perk. Zombies have green mist. If you walk into that green mist, you can't be seen by zombies. That's pretty cool. Also, zombies drop points when they die. So on the ground, you can go and pick them up. They're little like gold coins. That's pretty cool as well. Pretty sure you could get 5. So that's the only map where you can get like 5 points, I believe. The Easter egg in itself, it's pretty difficult. You have to have 4 players. Well, no, actually, you can have 3 players now. People did it with 3 players, but it's most likely you're gonna need 4 players, and even then, you have to be able to communicate. You have to be able to work together, cooperate. It's just a pretty well made map overall. Like I wouldn't play it for the Easter egg. I would just play it for casual fun. It's pretty good. Um, the chalk as well, just being able to do that for the walls and put the guns wherever you wanted them. Basically, that was also pretty nice. And just besides that, it's just a pretty well made map. I like the idea of just going underground and falling through the main platform. You could get the LSAT if you really wanted to. That's pretty cool too. But yeah, okay, Call of the Dead. Um, Never played this. I never got to play it, so I can't really say much for this. Sadly, I know that it has George Romero, which was a really cool aspect because George Romero, Night of the Living Dead. That's great. That was great. Just adding him in there, adding that storyline. It was also the first map to have a celebrity cast, which was amazing as well for like the zombies community. Why? Because just it just shows that zombies is growing. It's pretty cool to see that something started from World at War, with what's called with I can't remember the name of the map, Nocturne Toten, all the way up to a map where celebrities are being casted into the thing. That's pretty cool. The Easter egg in itself is pretty basic. It can be done really quickly. It's not the hard. It's not hard at all. A little RNG based, but besides that, it's just pretty simple. Traversing the map, it's I don't know. I can't really say much for it. Darius or the giant, however you want to see it. This is showing Darius, the giant, basically. This is a pretty basic map. It's been remade so many times. Treyarch could have used their time to focus on something else instead of remaking it like 17,000 different times. But it's still a pretty good map. It was the first map to show Pack a Punch, which was pretty cool. But besides that, I don't really think it added much. I mean, we already had the 4 perks from Verrucht, or we already had perks from Verrucht, and then Zetsubo no Shi. Right, no, that's right, wrong now. Shi no Numa added in more perks, if I'm correct. I could be wrong there, but really, Darius just added in Pack a Punch, and I mean, Pack a Punch is very essential to the game now. But I mean, I don't know. I just don't find it that special of a map. But our first F tier map, we have ourselves Die Rise. Okay, Die Rise is just a stupid map. Okay, anyone who disagrees with me is stupid. Okay, Die Rise is a dumb map, and I will fight you on that. All right, it's not fun to play. The idea that you have to jump around and risk your life always to get around the map is just stupid. The elevators annoying because you have to basically be lucky if you want to get out at a certain time. Otherwise, you have to wait and probably train, which could lead to your death. That sucks. It added in Who's Who, not even a good perk. Okay, but yeah, it's not a good map at all. It really isn't. The way it's designed, like it's not fun to play through. The jumping jacks, I guess, was pretty cool if you meleeed all of them. You got to keep a perk, or you got a free perk, which was nice, so you could get more than 4 perks. But besides that, it's just pretty basic. Dead of the Night. I'm gonna put this at an E tier. Okay, Dead of the Night, another map that flopped. Okay, why? Because the celebrity cast that was used for it weren't able to record all the voice lines on time, so the story for the Chaos Crew were unable to start where they actually wanted to start, which was supposed to be Dead of the Night, but it was pushed back to DLC 1. DLC 1 for Black Ops 4, for anyone who's a Zombies fan and paid attention to that, if you even cared about Black Ops 4 at that time, because I'd be surprised. I was really just hoping for something, and I got this. And, basically released out of nowhere, no advertisement for it. The map itself just, I don't know, it's just not fun to play through. It's just way too complicated to get around and do things. You have to, if you want to do the Easter egg, you have to, like, it's pretty much luck based. I guess you're able to, you know, go sort of based off of videos, but for some things, but like Nosferatu and all that stuff, adding in the vampires they were more annoying than anything else. They weren't really that cool. They weren't really that fun to fight. They didn't really add in anything. The werewolves, those I personally like those, but like they didn't really come in that often. They were really rare. And the boss fight itself, I like the boss fight. Spinning the little stone statues, making it to where they pointed their light at the little square to enclose and capture the werewolf, and then so you could see it and kill it. That was pretty cool. But even then, like you have the little red vampires and the normal vampires, and those were annoying to deal with. It was pretty easy to go down because there's no like actual place to train. This goes with any Black Ops 4 map, almost any of them. There's really nowhere you can train well, so it's just overall not that fun to play through. It's like you play it once and you do the Easter egg once, you don't really want to return to it. 5. This is going to go up here ahead of Blood of the Dead. Okay, 5 is one of my favorite Black Ops 1 maps. But I actually, yeah, no, I'm gonna put it up here. I like it much better than Ascension, actually. Okay, so 5, it added in. You basically, it was another celeb cast. You played in the Pentagon. You played as JFK, Castro, the Secretary of Defense, and some other guy. You have yourself the little quote. I don't remember. But I don't know. I like the cast. I like the idea of it. I like playing in the Pentagon. I liked the Pentagon thief who spawned in at a random round, came around, stole your gun if you didn't kill him fast enough. And basically, if you killed him prior to him stealing your gun or any gun, you got this new drop called Bonfire Cell, which made Pack a Punch cost 1,000 points instead of 5,000 points. Okay, that was a really cool thing. It added in it. I didn't add in the crawlers, the little Nova 6 crawlers, but it kept them in the map only when you were underground. Basically, that was pretty cool. I like the idea of the what's it called, the DEFCON levels. Just going around unlocking that. That was pretty simple. You could do that pretty easily. It was pretty easy to traverse. There's nowhere that's bad for training. You could train on the second floor, where most of where Jug was and all that stuff. That was pretty cool. It was pretty basic. Besides that, though, it's just a pretty okay map. It's nothing too special. 9. Okay, this one goes up here. I'm gonna put this ahead of Barry because 9 was an amazing map. Okay, it was truly amazing. The Easter egg in itself was really fun. You had to appease all four gods for Zeus, Odin, uh, Ra, and I can't remember the era. I don't know. Remember? I don't remember the last one. But basically, you have to go around appease them. Each of them being very unique. I just liked it. The annoying part was the tigers at first when the game came out, but they did an update to where they did less damage instead of being able to basically one shot you, and that was really cool. That was really helpful to make it more fun. But other than that, there's just it had a pretty okay wonder weapon. It wasn't that good. It was the Circuit's is it Circuit's Kiss or Death of Orion? I don't remember which one's which. One of them's Pack Punch, the other one isn't. It was a little scorpion gun that sort of like when you charge shot a zombie, it just floated in the air, or you could charge shot like a gladiator. Brawler or the Blight Father, and just floated in the air is a had an air AOE effect, area of effect, sort of caught and trapped other zombies or enemies around it in it. That was pretty cool, but it wasn't really all that powerful. It's not something you would take to high rounds. Speaking of the other zombies that weren't zombies, you had the Catalyst zombies, you had the Gladiators, you had the Brawler, you had the Tigers, you had the Blight Fathers. All of that was pretty cool. It wasn't too annoying to deal with, so it was always fun to kill them. It wasn't too hard to do it. And then also the boss fight. The boss fight was a giant freaking elephant. That was so fun seeing it chase after you and running away. That was always fun. It wasn't too hard. You just had to shoot the sides of the elephant and then break its armor. Kill the elephant. Then the even cooler part is there were two elephants. One easier one, and then the really hard one where the guys could basically one shot you on top of it with their spears. That was pretty cool. I wasn't against that because it was pretty simple to deal with. You could use the RPG. I don't remember what it's called, but to make it much easier. But it was a pretty well made map. They put a lot of time and effort into it, and I really liked that. Okay, moving on to Kino der Toten. I don't know where I really want to put this. There's a lot of places I like there's a lot of reasons I like Kino der Toten, but that's sort of biased. It's not really going based off the map because this was my first ever zombies map I played through. I didn't like it at first. I was more of a multiplayer person to begin with, and then my little brother was the zombies person, and then we ended up switching. It happens, and then I don't know. But Kino der Toten, it's sadly I have to put it in the D. Okay, Kino der Toten was basically Duri's, but in a theater. That's about it. It had the teleporter, but Duri's also had that. It was basically Duri's, but in a theater on Black Ops 1. The only reason why I'm putting it up here on D is because I feel like a lot of people can say that this was their first like zombies game that were sort of part of the newer generation, not people who were born in the 1990s. You were born in 2000s. This is what you played, really. Early 2000s to late 2000s. Not a lot of people played, Black World at War. More people started on Black Ops 1 than anything else, which was pretty cool. This was a pretty simple map, pretty basic to get through. Teaches you how to play the game. You can. There's no Easter egg. It's a high round map. You just do that. Have the Thunder Gun. The first map to have the Thunder Gun. It also so that was like that's one of the best wonder weapons there is. There's really no questioning that. It's amazing. Can't deny it. But it's about that. It's just that simple. There's nothing much. You have the Nova 6 crawlers as well. You could I don't know. There's nothing more to it. It just had that monkey bombs, all that stuff. Moving on to Moon. Moon. Now, I'm gonna I'm gonna go based off the Black Ops 3 version because they are different, sort of. The Black Ops 3 version of Moon is a really well made map. Okay, it looks great. It feels great to play through. It doesn't feel like as weird. It just I don't know. It just flowed better than Black Ops 1 did, in my opinion. Okay. It added in the what's it called? The wave gun. It added in Gersh devices. It also added in the E something EDQ, EBBQ. I don't know. The barbecue tactical grenade. I don't remember what they called it. But it added in those three things. The wave gun is basically sort of like a I don't know how to put this. Sort of like a ray gun when you're not when they're separate, but when they're together, it just makes the zombies really bloated and they just explode. Um, and then from there, it just is a great map. It added in this new zombie type of zombie called. Well, technically, it added into one of them for sure is brand new. It's the spaceman. Not that good of a person. Not that good of a boss zombie. It gave you nothing when you killed it. It basically was really slow, and you'd most likely encounter it going through a corridor and not expecting it, and then he would grab you. You can't really get away most of the time. He would teleport you, leaving you at basically one hit, and also take away a perk if you had a perk. So that was never fun to deal with. It's whatever though. It didn't even give you a drop when you killed it, but I don't know. It obviously made sense that there was going to be a space zombie though, so I'm not really against the idea. Just wish that they had more of a purpose, as in like at least dropping something or being more useful basically. And then also added in the teleporting Nova Six crawlers, which now just added in that teleportation side of it. That's about it. There's nothing too special about that. And then the Easter egg was pretty simple. It was a pretty simple Easter egg. It was pretty fun though because you got to see Samantha Maxis, and then the ending, which started Black Ops 2, which was one of the greatest Easter egg endings there is. You blew up the Earth. Okay, Richtofen takes control of the zombies. You blew up the Earth. It's all pretty cool. Okay, can't deny it. It's amazing. Mob of the Dead. Okay, this one is going up here in I'm gonna put it in front of 9. Mob. I'm gonna put it behind 9. Mob of the Dead is a very cool map. Okay, you have yourself another celebrity cast map. Okay, basically, you are 4 prisoners who are going through a continuous cycle in Alcatraz, and then they basically are trying to break out. I like this map a lot. The Golden Gate Bridge is probably one of my favorite things about it because it just shows this infinite cycle, and then that's where most of the Easter egg will take place. I also like it had a lot of lore or story behind it. It wasn't that good of an Easter egg. It was pretty bad in my opinion, but just the storyline behind it and just the gameplay aspect and the blunder gat, the acid gat, the vitrolic withering, whatever, however pronounce that. I'm not that good at English. But it was a really great map. It was well made. It was a pretty difficult map as well. Like it was a tight corridor map. There were places to train. There were places to train, so that was nice. It added in Brutus, the prisoner guard boss. He was pretty nice. He was pretty fun to kill. Deal with. And then it also added in the aspect of major soul box. I can't think there. I don't think there's any map that has a major soul box prior to it. The dogs to get the axe. What's it called? Whoa, I can't remember the name of the axe. Okay, I'm having a brain fart, guys. But yeah, no, it just added in a pretty good amount. It was a pretty good, well-made map. The pack a punch was pretty simple to get to. You build a plane, you fill it, and then you continuously do it by filling it with gas with the same parts around the map in the same location. There was nothing else besides that I can think of. But it was a good map. It was a great map for Black Ops 2. One of the best on Black Ops 2. Okay. Now going on to Noct. Now I understand the liking of Noct, but I personally find it to be just very boring. It is not fun to play. It is it's probably something that, like, you have to be older, you have to play it on World at War for it to be fun. I never got to experience that, so my thoughts on it are much different. But I still find it better than these three maps, just because this is what started off zombies. It um it just, after you complete the World at War campaign, this is what you get out of it. And people back then, people were really scared of that, because it was just like, what the heck is this, zombies? It was like a pretty cool idea, and it just started off literally everything else here you see. Okay, that's amazing. It's done because of this map. It started everything else here. So I can't really put it that low of a map. It just started everything, and I'm not upset with it at all. The Black Ops 3 version added in, you have gobble gums, so you can pack a punch. It also has the box, yeah, added in it has the flamethrower, the infinite gun, to get to high rounds, the ray gun, is there any other thing? I don't know. But added in the first wonder weapons. I count the flamethrower as a wonder weapon just because of how stupidly overpowered it was. But yeah, it just started off everything. It's the highest round, the map you get the highest rounds on, because of how easy it is. And it's just not. It's as simple as that. Origins, one of the best maps of all time. Literally one of the best maps. It's got to be a god tier map. Literally, the four stabs, the giant robots, the Panzer Soldat, the Easter egg itself, just everything flowed so well. It has almost no flaws. The Black Ops 3 version of it has the mud flaw, but that's expected. It's hard to recreate perfection. Okay, Black Ops 3 version, it made it the Easter egg to where it's easier to be done solo, but you could do it on Black Ops 2 as well. Anyone who does it on Black Ops 2, you're a legend. If you do it solo, are a god amongst the zombie players. Okay, but the Easter egg itself, going around the map, just killing zombies for the soul boxes, knifing zombies to get the the grenade. I forgot what they're called. Something. Just being able to do that. I don't know. I just hope that in Black Ops 5 they find a way to make a map just as great as these top god tier maps. Um, it's just near perfection. It's the most fun to speed run. I think anyone can agree on that. It's the most fun to speed run. There's no map I find more fun than trying to speed run, because you can always do better. There's no point where you're perfect. Okay, you can be near it, but there's always a way to do better. Okay, Revelations, terrible. Okay, I personally liked Revelations when it first came out, but when you really think about it, it's nothing special. It's really nothing special. The Easter egg is not that fun to do. The map itself is just an amalgamation of the old maps. There's nothing new to it. The Pack a Punch, I guess, is pretty cool. The boss fight sucks. It's just a bad map. Adds in elemental Margwas. It had the Panzers, but really, it's just not that special. It has the Furies and the Keepers, but besides that, it's just pretty, meh. The Easter egg was not fun to play through. Discovering it has like some stupid steps. It's just not that fun. It had the little wisp Easter egg, where you could collect the wisp and make it to where once you put it into the teleporter in Samantha's room onto the box, it made it to where any gun out of the box from there on has pack a punch, is already pack a punched, and then you could also get Takeo's katana. That was pretty cool, but besides that, it's pretty chill. It's not that good. Shangri La, I think it's an overrated map. I was thinking about Ascension. It added in PhD. I just want to go back to that. It added in PhD, one of the best perks of all time. I wish would come back. All right, Shangri La though. Okay, I have the baby gun. Basically on Mars. I think we've confirmed it's on Mars, if I'm correct. But basically, Shangri La. You were in the jungle on Mars. I think on Mars. I don't know for sure. I'm just gonna go with that. But you just went around. It was pretty nice traps, like for you to go through the little like mud area, the mud pit. how it blocked you off and made you go to a certain direction. I like that aspect. It added in the fire zombie. I don't know what it's called, and also the screecher. But those weren't too common. But it was a pretty fun map. It wasn't bad at all. It just like I don't know. I feel like it like when it's taken into comparison to other maps on Black Ops One, it just I don't feel like it added much. It added in one thing and also had an Easter egg to get this stone. But besides that, it's pretty simple. You couldn't do Moon without doing Shangri-La first, so that's nice that they added in a little chronological order right there. But besides that, it's pretty simple. I'll move it up. I'll move it up. Shinonuma. Okay, this map is not fun. Okay, as it added in traps, it added in a little bit of RNG for perks. I like that, but besides that, it's not a map that's fun. I added in dogs. That's pretty cool. Actually, I'll move it up to the front. Oh, it is. Okay, it is at the front. Okay, I'll move it up to the front of the E tier. But besides that, it's just not fun. Okay, it's there is not a lot there. It has the Wonderwolf, but that's not new. At that point, the Wonderwolf was in Verrucht, if I'm correct, or unless it was added in Shinonuma. I could be wrong. But I don't know. The burp. There's not really anything too special about it. It wasn't that fun to play through, and I find it as a basic map. Shadows of Evil, Black Ops 3 starting map. I'll put it at the front of the B tier. Okay, Shadows of Evil. You're playing as another celeb cast. Okay, really fun to play through. It had a good Easter egg. You could only do it with 4 players, which sort of sucks, but it's fun. Added in the most powerful wonder weapon of all time, the Apothicon Servant. You see, be even more powerful on day one. If you have Xbox One or if you have it on console, you're able to play it on the day one version if you don't update it. And then, you can experience that. You had to sort of trick the game. You had to hold out a weapon, and then once you had to press triangle switch to the Apothicon Servant, and then hold square as it's switching. So then you could pack-a-punch it. It was really overpowered. It added in little Arnie's, which were really overpowered. It added in the Margwa, which was a really interesting boss to kill. I love it a lot because 3 heads. You have to shoot it, but they close at separate times, so you just have to be smart about it. He's able to one shot you if you don't have Jug. He's able to leave you at 1 hit if you do have Jug, but besides that, it's a really great map. The Easter egg was really fun to play through. It's fun to do high rounds on, and it just works out pretty well. The trams, the little insects, the meatballs. It just overall is really fun to play through, and I recommend that you go play through if you never have. Okay, glug glug glug. I don't know why I said glug glug glug. I was just drinking water. Verrucht. Yeah, difficult map. Very difficult. Okay, World at War, very difficult. Black Ops 1, very difficult. Black Ops 3, it's okay in difficulty. But I don't know. Oh no. Where am I gonna put? Oh no, no, the video! Oh my god! Oh my god! Are you for real? Did that just happen? Okay, we're fine. Wow, I did not. Oh my gosh, I was about to start crying. Okay, anyway, let's continue on. Okay, so, with Verrucht. Oh, I was gonna be so upset. With Verrucht, very difficult map on anything that's not Black Ops 3, because Black Ops 3 made everything easy. I don't know. It's an interesting map. It doesn't have Pack-a-Punch. You basically have to work with what you had. Added in the first perk, if I'm correct. Don't quote me on this. I didn't play World at War. I wasn't there for it. I don't know. I want to. I feel like it could be average. I feel like it'd be top of the D tier, or like right here. Right here works. I like that. I don't know. It was yeah. It was what made it such a great map was it was just very difficult. Okay, that's the point of it. It's difficult. Voyage of Despair. I'll put it at the bottom. I'll put it right here. It's not in front of Doris. Voyage of Despair. It's not that fun of a map. I played through it a couple times. Never really enjoyed it. Tried doing the Easter egg. It's just very difficult to do solo. I expected a lot from it. I guess it's sort of my fault for having high expectations for it, and it just sort of just wasn't fun to play through. It was a really cool idea for playing on the Titanic, but like a lot of it still is locked off. You don't get to play through everything, so it's whatever. It added in the Kraken, the Elemental Kraken as well. The boss fight itself, fighting the Eye, that was a really cool boss fight. But besides that, you had the little like that little fire guy that walked around. I don't remember what he's called. It had the elemental zombies as well, Blight Fathers, and that's pretty cool. But besides that, it's pretty simple. And then we're gonna move on to the last map. Okay, Zatsubo no Shima, the worst of the Black Ops 3 maps. Okay, but still better than. Let me make sure. Yeah. Well, no, second worst. Okay, it's better than Revelations, in my opinion. Okay. I had to make sure that I didn't put anything lower than that because I do think this is the second worst. Yeah. But yeah, Zatsubo no Shima, Tokyo's map. Okay, it had a very emotional cutscene. That's probably the best part about it. Added in spiders, the little spider boss fight. That was nice. The Tokyo boss fight was pretty bad. You could just run around and shoot the three things and you were done. It was nothing too special. The map itself was, pretty fun to traverse. You have to fill, in order to turn on power, not only did you have to do water, but you also had to do a little lock and step underwater, so you had to go up for air and all that stuff and just survive. That was pretty fun. It has the little, I don't remember what they're called. It's a little, like, swamp monster. I don't know what it's called. I really should have done my research before this video, but added in the little swamp monster thing. It was pretty stupid to fight. It didn't drop anything. It didn't give you points. It was useless. And then the Easter egg steps itself were pretty tedious. You had to do all the challenges. Some of them were easy. Some of them were just plain stupidly hard or just annoying to get. And, it was just pretty bad overall for that. But I don't know. I just find it real. I don't know. I find it fun to play through if you're not doing the Easter egg. I find it to be a fun high round map. I added in the Skull and Sopway or whatever you say. That was a really overpowered wonder weapon. It's the easiest way to get a whole bunch of XP and go to high rounds if you glitch it out. But besides that, there's not really much else to the map. Okay. But that's it for this video. Okay, this is what I think about for every zombies map there is for Treyarch. That is not other games. That'd be such a long video. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you disagree, you have your own opinion. You're entitled to it. If you do agree, then yay. Okay, thank you. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, why don't you go ahead and smash that like button. Also, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next live streamer video. But yeah. Peace.